I'm very sorry for what I did. I did not mean to offend anybody. If you were personally offended, I do apologize. Oh, hi. What? No, I meant everything I just said. Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 cringiest celebrity apologies. Number 10, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It doesn't matter how famous you may be, when you enter a country, you gotta go through customs, bud. In 2016, Hollywood heartthrob Johnny Depp and his future nemesis Amber Heard decided to take a little trip to Australia when they were stopped by custom agents. After realizing that the two dogs they brought with them were not declared on their forms, Pistol and Boo, terrible names for dogs by the way, were allowed into the country thanks to Amber admitting that she had falsified documents. As part of the investigation that took place, Amber and Johnny were made to record an apology video to the Australian government, while simultaneously acting as a PSA. The most monotone and sad PSA that's probably ever existed. They're literally sitting in a cozy little love seat and staring down at a camera. Not into it like this, they're going down at it like their computer was just on a table that's a little too short. They can also very obviously be seen reading off of prompters or some kind of like a cue card. And while Johnny is not even trying to act like he cares, Amber Heard seems to be engaged the entire time, like she's doing an audition tape or something. At the end of the day, smuggling two dogs into Australia was the least of their problems, as we all know now thanks to their very public and messy trial. Number 9, Hannah Brown. Any members of Bachelor Nation surely know about this rough moment in the show's history. A bachelorette by the name of Hannah Brown was on Instagram trying to remember the lyrics to DaBaby's Rockstar, and in doing so, she said one of the no-knowest of no-no words to ever exist, the N-word. She stopped herself for a moment after she said it, but then she continued to mumble along to the song. She received a massive slew of backlash thanks to the astounding 2.8 million people watching her video. She later apologized for the incident and claims that she was under the influence during the clip. Hey, that's not a good argument. She actually didn't even realize what she had said until she started receiving Instagram live comments calling out her behavior and just basically calling her trash. The next day, she released a written apology online, but not a physical one, which was what was really needed. The apology was filled with your typical, I promise to be better, I have some work to do, that kind of spiel, which literally nobody bought. Rachel Lindsay, who was the Bachelorette's first and only black lead so far, responded to the apology claiming that the incident was a gross misuse of a platform. Hannah shared her words with millions of people using her face, but she couldn't do the same thing while she was apologizing. If you have the audacity to say that word, whether it be in private or with your friends, then it doesn't matter. Just don't say the N-word ever. Do what I do when I'm singing along to songs like that. Say ninja. Or say nothing at all. Just don't sing those songs. Number 8, Logan Paul. A warning to any of our squeamish viewers, this story is a little wild, so check this out or skip it. Logan Paul, a man now known as WWE Superstar, was once actually a famous YouTube star. With millions of subscribers, his channel's popularity quickly skyrocketed in the early 2010s. Until one day, Logan and his friends decided to go to a famous forest in Japan to film a camping challenge video. A forest that is unfortunately famous for the tragedies that take place there. Many lives have ended in the forest, and some were self-inflicted. Now, while venturing in the forest, Logan and his crew spotted a recently deceased individual just hanging from a tree, and instead of alerting the authorities and cutting the cameras, he acted like it was the wildest thing he had ever seen, all the while wearing a hat designed to look like one of the little green guys from Toy Story. This dude is a child! If you want proof that he is, just watch his apology. Actually don't, I'll just save you the trouble. He actually shouted at the body in the tree asking if it was okay and if they were fooling with them. They stood there filming for over 30 minutes before finally leaving the forest. The video was not demonetized and it received massive backlash. At the beginning and end of the clip, he urges any viewers suffering from mental health issues to seek help, blatantly exploiting the situation. Many viewers felt traumatized by the video and began drowning his channel with negative comments. He released an apology in which he claimed to face a monsoon of negativity, that he doesn't do it for the views, that he just gets them, and he actually spent a good chunk of the video sadly telling the audience how popular he is. Literally, he sat there just like, I'm sorry, I'm just so famous, it's not my fault people like me. Needless to say, nobody cared for the apology and his YouTube career was in the dumps. But the World Wrestling Entertainment industry doesn't care what you did, so get over there, you little scamp. Number 7. Roseanne Barr. Actress Roseanne Barr was set to star in a revival of her hit sitcom Roseanne in 2018, but that show was abruptly cancelled when she decided to post a racially fueled rant on Twitter. According to Rosie, though, it wasn't her fault. The TV star made inaccurate and inappropriate claims about Valerie Jarrett, who was a former advisor to Barack Obama, and claims the only reason she actually went ahead and posted anything was because of the copious amounts of sleeping pills she had taken. She apologized at first, but through the apology she just defends herself by saying, it was 2 in the morning, I was on Ambien, it was Memorial Day, I went too far. Ah yes, Memorial Day, the maker of many racist tweets, I'm sure. Just in case you didn't already know, blaming anything you do on substances, that's not really a good excuse. Yeah, can't walk up to a cop and be like, oh, I'm sorry I crashed my car into that guy's house, I just ate like 6 Flintstones vitamins and I'm really lightheaded. She continued the apology and capped it off with, forgive my bad jokes. Sounds like me when I'm doing this. She later deleted both her tweets and her account. It seems like someone has finally revoked her internet privileges and placed a password on her social medias. Number 6. Colleen Ballinger. Former YouTuber and current demon Colleen Ballinger has recently been outed as a groomer of her young fans. Now for those who don't know the term groomer, let's keep it that way because it's pretty gross. Colleen is best known for her character Miranda Sings on YouTube, who became so popular that she received her own Netflix series. And if you haven't seen that yet, it's too late, it's long been deleted now. Following the slew of cancellation and backlash from the entire world, Colleen decided to post an apology online, and she did apologize while playing a ukulele. After this woman is shown to be an actual, physical monster, she thought it was appropriate to go online and be like, I'm sorry for what I did, I didn't mean to groom those kids. In response to the cringiest apology of all time, her fans decided to remind her of a little bit of a misstep that she made in her career. A few years ago, she decided that it would be an awesome idea during one of her live shows to sing and dance to Beyonce's Single Ladies. We've all been there, right? But you know where we haven't all been? Doing it in blackface. Yep, there is just a terrible, terrible clip of Colleen barefoot on stage, wildly flailing and waving about just covered in makeup. How did it take so long for that lady to get canceled? None of the parents at that concert were like, man, I love this. Oh no. Number 5. Mario Bitali. In case you didn't know who this man is, you can probably guess what he does by looking at his last name, Bitali. Bitali was a world-famous TV show chef, hosting his own cooking show and participating in several competition series like Iron Chef America. In 2017, Mario was accused of misconduct by 4 women, and he was forced to step down from his role on television and issued a public apology for his actions. He said that he made mistakes and he was sorry for his actions, but at the end of the long-winded by the numbers apology, he added a link to a recipe for pizza dough cinnamon rolls, adding, hey, in case you're searching for a holiday-inspired breakfast, these pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite. That would have been like Logan Paul going, I apologize for my actions, it'll never happen again. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content. The tone-deaf apology became an overnight viral meme. Not only was Mario being called out as a creepy creep from Creepville, he was also being called out for offering such a terrible recipe. Dude, seriously, next time just make it cookies. Or don't harass people. Number 4. Louis C.K. Louis was dominating the comedy scene in the early 2010s thanks to the success of his sitcom based loosely on his life called Louis. In 2017 though, he was forced to make a public apology after it was revealed that he had a problem keeping his trouser snake in its cave. The sitcom star and stand-up comedian was hot off an appearance on the late night sketch show Saturday Night Live when the allegations began arising. Probably happening after people saw that really weird ice cream sketch that he was in, and if you don't know what that is, keep it that way. It's weird. It was revealed that the rumors were in fact true because Louis posted an apology titled "The Stories Are True," just right at the top. 5 women had alleged misconduct on Louis' part. He exposed himself to the women without their consent. In his apology, he wouldn't stop referring to the power that he had over these women, the strength that he wielded. He said he felt remorseful, but he sounded like a supervillain the whole time. To cap off the tone-deaf apology, he listed all of the projects that he was involved in that would be suffering for his cancellation. Like before he went out, he needed to remind us all how good he was. Oh, I'm sorry for my actions. The worst part is that all of my TV shows and movies are going to suffer because of it. Suck it up, buddy. Number 3, Justin Timberlake. In 2004, a wardrobe malfunction shook the world, because it was 2004. Nothing crazy had really happened yet. The two were performing together during the halftime show at the Super Bowl when Justin accidentally exposed Janet's left nip to the audience. According to Justin's team, he was only meant to remove a rubber part of the costume to reveal a red lace bra. MTV released a statement claiming that the situation was unrehearsed, unplanned, and inconsistent with the assurances they had about the content of their performers. Very, very by the numbers. They claimed that they had no idea that this was even happening until the very last minute. In fact, for some reason, Janet received most of the backlash for the event when it was Justin who was the one that exposed her to the crowd. Janet released a public apology, basically absolving MTV of any wrongdoings. But Justin's apology was just a little harder to watch. At that year's Grammy Awards, Justin took the stage to accept an award for the Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Cry Me a River. And in order for him to be allowed on stage, he was actually made to issue a public apology for the events at the Super Bowl. It was the most by the numbers apology ever recorded, to the point where he literally says, "What occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you were offended." He was trying to be suave when he said it, but it just came off really just bad. This was one of the first times that the world collectively cringed at somebody, so brought us all together in the end. Number 2, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen had one of the most successful daytime talk shows of all time until 2020. Her show became overwhelmed with accusations of a toxic work environment from former employees. They were claiming that Ellen's happy exterior was nothing more than a facade put in place to keep the audience on her team. A small bit of proof came when she accused 50 Shades of Grey actress Dakota Johnson of not inviting her to a birthday party a few months before she was on the show. Now, Dakota reminded her that she had in fact sent an invitation and received a notice from her producer that she didn't want to attend. Fans began questioning the awkward moment, and the cracks in her appearance grew bigger and bigger. Eventually, an article was released containing testimonies from several former employees, with just too many stories to have been a false narrative. Ellen canceled herself by denying every single thing that she was being accused of, and instead of acknowledging her faults and missteps as a boss, instead Ellen's fans took to Twitter demanding that she respond to the articles that claimed that she was a short-tempered tyrant. She posted a half-hearted apology to social media and appeared on her talk show to deliver the bad news, while simultaneously trying to save face by claiming that she had no idea what was going on behind the scenes because it was such a big place. She doubled down though, because during that physical appearance on the show, she did an apology in front of her audience. It was a Zoom audience because, no go inside places back then, so she literally edited in laugh tracks and applause during her apology. It's an apology, okay? Not a Netflix special. Number 1, Bryan Adams. A warning to anyone who is sensitive about the year 2020, you might want to just go to the end of the video. Canadian singer-songwriter Bryan Adams was forced to post a public apology for an Instagram post that was racist, crass, and inflammatory, according to CBC News. In 2020, the world was at a standstill, and Bryan, much like the rest of us, were made to stay inside and avoid contact with anyone. To pass the time, he decided to play some music and spread some joy to the world. Oh wait, did I say joy? I meant to say nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. He played the song Cut Like a Knife and posted it on Instagram, apparently on the night he was set to begin a number of gigs at Royal Burt Hall. Now, I was going to quote what he said, but I'm pretty sure this video would get deleted immediately thanks to all of the misinformation. To summarize, he was racist, he was anti-Semitic, he claimed that the situation had been fabricated, and wrapped it up by telling everyone to go vegan. That was probably the worst part of it all. The odd message coupled with the song not only puzzled fans of the singer, but it enraged them. This was some kind of a misguided attempt to open our eyes to something, but all he did was make himself look like a moron. He posted an apology on Instagram saying there was no excuse, and it was just him wanting to rant about animal cruelty and wet markets being a possible source of the virus, and to promote veganism. Okay, but why though, okay? We all saw Tiger King, we know animals need to be saved. Go back to your cave, Bryan. And those were the cringiest of the cringe. What apologies did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for stopping beyond the screen today. We'll see you next time.